Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can change your smartphone camera into a microscope. So smartphone cameras have been getting pretty good over the last few years. One thing they're not so good at is getting real close up to stuff. But here's a simple trick you can do, and all you're going to need is your smartphone and some water. Oh, and a little bit of patience. The first thing you're going to need to do is flip your phone over so you can see the camera on the top, lay it on a flat surface or hold it flat. And then I'm using a pipette, you could use your finger, you can use a pencil, anything. Just get a drop of water and you just got to drop it, just the tiniest little drop onto the camera like that. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Okay, once you've got your drop of water there, you really just want a very small drop, just like 3-4 millimeters across. So you can actually put your finger on it like that. You can just move it around with your finger and you can just take a little tiny bit off like that so it's not too big. And then as soon as you've got that, the hardest bit of the whole thing actually is then turning your phone over without losing your drop. So, damn, hang on, let's go. Yay, got it. And then all you got to do is go looking for things to photograph. It's probably worth saying that before you start, check first to see whether your phone is waterproof or not. If it's not waterproof, be very careful if you decide to try this trick. And if you're not 100% sure where your phone camera is, don't put any water on your phone at all. I accept no responsibility for damages to phones or people who decide to do this trick, and don't drop your phone in a sink full of water, or down the toilet. Remember, you only need a tiny drop of water on the lens of the camera, and you can adjust it or make it smaller with the tip of your finger. And if you mess it up, you can just dab it off and start again. I would suggest having a dry cloth handy in case things don't go completely to plan. So I started with a little oak tree growing on my windowsill and got some quite promising early results. You have to get really close to what you're photographing, so I found out early on how easy it is to deposit your water droplet macro lens onto your subject. Yes, that's right, I managed to do it twice, so I decided to photograph them as well. Next up, a £10 note that's been hanging around on my desk for a bit. Let's have a close-up look at the Queen's eye. There's also a tiny screw next to my computer, but you can see what happens when the water droplet macro lens isn't completely round or moves a bit off centre. I couldn't resist looking close up at some fabric. This is just the sleeve of my hoodie. What next? Let's go outside. Flowers seem like the obvious choice, so I headed for the nearest patch of daisies. Let's look for something smaller. How about some Germander speedwell? These little guys are only about half the size of a daisy. I managed to deposit a bit of my lens on one of its stamen, but that made for an interesting pic too. The shallowness of the depth of field makes it really hard to get all the subject in focus, but what you lose in sharpness, you gain in this ethereal, ghostly effect. You know, I think we can do better still. This is the smallest flower I could find in the garden. I think it's field speedwell, and its flower is only 2 millimeters across. Look at how the extreme shallowness of focus gives a strange sense of depth in the image. Then, of course, there's the simple dandelion. On the windowsill of the shed, I found the dusty remains of a wasp. Insect wings make great subject matter for close-up stuff. Probably my favourite picture of all is my daughter's eyelashes. So that's it. I'd love to see what results you've come up with. I hope you haven't wrecked your phones. Please like, subscribe, all those things. See you soon.